drop one up, drop one down. You know, maybe it's Olympia up there, who knows? But maybe it's Rano. So there we go. But of those 3 characters, like there are there are like a couple Rasters, there are like 1 or 2 Oris, and there's negative Maples. There's like 1.
Yeah, Maple is not a character that is currently existing. Something that I wish to change, but at the same time, it's a character, and just in general, these characters, ones that are recognized as being very good, having the tools to succeed. Well, let's do that.
Same with Zetterburn. Like
Zetterburn is definitely one of those characters. We were talking a bit about this before the stream, but it's a character that's just very fundamentally sound.
Oh yeah,
and maybe a bit too general for some of the peaks that some other characters can reach in terms of like their complemental or their edge guarding or their damage output. But like, if you have the strong fundamentals, you can just play against the player, not necessarily in the matchup on paper, and that can carry yourself plenty of points. And Danzello is a player who does a very good job of showcasing those strengths of Zetterburn.
Yeah, because do not misunderstand. This character is still obscenely strong. Having reliable and quick disjoints can go a long way in just about any matchup. A all-purpose fireball, an all-purpose shine. While the recovery routes are not as vast as some other characters in this game, you still have some different options that you can go for. Characters got a lot going for them on top of a very strong hit confirm game. Just getting back onto stage is the problem. Holding in and just being clipped by that thunder line. Dan's dropping the first stock, but immediately finding it back with an up strong of his own.
Proper response there is. You do not want Penguin getting a winning sensibility, especially starting tower for your game one, because there's so much opportunity for her to cover space with the Penguin Cloud that she doesn't have to commit really to an approach, especially against the likes of Zetterburn. Like, just accounting for where Zetter Fireball might be able to cover space, but besides that, like, you're just adjusting your positioning. As long as you don't overextend from that center stage that we've seen her pretty much anchored to, she doesn't really have much to worry about. That being said, Dan's doing a fine job of trying to at least get her off the base platform, which I feel is going to be the best course of action for this game one.
Yeah, tough trade to take there, but mountains of damage put on top. I love that zip straight from the ground up, catching Dan's reaching, but he lets it loose with another up strong. But, you know, real Shoryu kind of vibes. Like, I'm letting it rip out of the corner, but in the
way that Dan's approaches this game and the way that he plays Zetterburn, he's very strong read vibes. He's absolute, like, student of the game, willing to learn, and just trying to observe and overcome anything thrown at him.
Zetterburn's a show, though.
It's true.
It's true. Oh, that down special was so nice. Able to get right by and keeping this damage real close. Zetterburn with the Ignite attached, any one of these back airs. All this,
super solid DI.
Even with the charge there, Hangman. Oh, we're hunting. We are hunting and starting to scout out some of these zips. Just like that.
Yeah, Renegade forward air manages to secure the game one for Dan's.
I think that's one of the largest buffs as the crowd starts to erupt for Dan's. One of the largest buffs that any character in this game has ever gotten is Zetterburn sweet spot forward air being larger. And a buff like that theoretically isn't that huge when you look at it like from some of the clear system changes that have come through, system and character changes, but it resolves one of the problems that Zetterburn had for such a long time. It's like, man, his straight hit game can sometimes feel a little weak if you're not like finding spacing properly, or if you're trying to catch a character like Absa in midair. Just that sweet spot becoming something that you can find in high tension moments can turn games around completely. Able to take that game one and have that raw hit kill potential online to contest with a very fast and mid-air character like Absa.
Like, on paper, yeah, like, Zetterburn is just not a very impressive character when you just try to look at raw numbers, or like you look at how a lot of other characters have had changes, like just how they're played. Absa even being one of those characters, mind you, over like a long course of life.
Oh yeah.
But like, I feel like it's just a matter of moving with the times. And again, these players who does it very well. Although, I think credit to be given where it is due to Penguin, that she's a sole player who keeps alongside the characters and has managed to stay at the top, hitting that high watermark of what needs to be great in this game consistently.
Oh yeah, Penguin's been doing it for just as long as Cake has been, like for anywhere from like consistently in that top 5. And this even game is a testament to both players and their paths to success and their sustained success at greatness.
I do love that we're seeing a bit more of a calmer match here, just getting a sense of how well both of these players understand the space that they can control. Because like it's not like tried and true zoning. Like, yeah, we got projectiles going left and right, but there is a very active measure from both players to approach alongside their projectiles where it's appropriate.
So what you're saying is we have got ourselves some nooch.
We got some good nooch. We got the good stuff.
This is inject this into my veins, please.
Yeah, this is that good.
Love the capitalization there. The attempted chases, but being consistently able to like get out of a bad situation and go to that platform is just so amazing for APSA in any stage where you have any of those overhanging platforms. Pivoting back and forth. A lot of these early game crouch cancels that were going so well for Danz are getting called out at different timings, but the spacing, he was positioned and letting that down strong rip before the jump even was a dream in Penguin's
so
eyes.
well positioned for the second hit of down strong to just get in there. That was just phenomenal, but this coverage from Penguin has proved lethal once before, and she's getting in position for it to do it again. The pickup from Upstrong does it.
Landed the inside hit of forward tilt, but was prepared for multiple contingencies. So while the up air may have been able to come out, the waveland on platform covered more and was more of a high percentage play from Penguin in that moment to play the tech chase, and then guessing the tech chase right. So well played from Penguin to bring us to a 1-1 set.
That's positively clinical on both ends. Big. Yeah, and just an immediate out-the-gate combo from Danz. All of a sudden, spelling doom for Penguin potentially. As Gamer brings ourselves over to Forest 4.
Gotta love the lines staring in the background, trying to see what. I'm trying to see, like we're all trying to see, like, hey, what's
good over here?
How is this gonna unfold here?
A very good question to ask. You see the consistent projectile pressure come out from both ends. Like with Penguin, it's the insistence of making sure that she has a cloud set to center stage, like practically point blank. And meanwhile, with Danz, just trying to keep the consistent pressure onto the damage. Whether it's the fireball itself threatening the damage over time, or just consistently swinging at the platform so that the stray hits add up more and more and more.
Missing the drift ever so slightly there. Survived for long enough, but not able to get back to stage after that forward air. Keeping very even, and where Danz has had so much success is in these even games where he's allowed to play grounded. As soon as he starts falling behind the 8-ball and starting to have to chase, you lose access to so much utility. Ooh. But these parries, these fireballs, all of that utility from the grounded game plan, crouch cancels on all of that, has kept Danz in so much benefit. But now it's Penguin.
She is swinging. She is swinging, but it's not going to find the mark just yet.
We're still with the parries online, scouting for the second fair, but turning herself into a bomb, yet no finisher from either side. Massive amounts of damage, massive amounts of advantage going through, but yet no stocks dropped.
And I love I guess the boldness from Dan is how I would put it. Just the fact that he is so ready and willing to dance around while Penguin is swinging and while she's positioning these clouds in active position so that she can swing off of. It's not enough just to get the hit confirm off of the cloud and then Thunderline, but using the cloud itself to allow to extend to the back air or forward air. There's so much active space being threatened by Penguin, yet Danz isn't slowing down. He's taking the young 55 here, but driving himself to try to even up the stocks, as we've seen him do time and time again, but great DI off of these hits.
He's just not able to find the final finishing blow, and we're starting to let it rip a little bit. Down strongs, forward strongs, double fairs. Like, there it is. But eventually one will land, getting caught in the end lag of forward tilt. Unable to jump away in time, and now Danz gets a chance to cut loose just a little bit, 40%. also climbing higher. Ooh. And up he goes, trying to build up the damage, but it's the ping pong off of the cloud that gets Penguin game number 3.
Brings us to the 2-1 count, and momentum seeming like it's sitting pretty firmly with Penguin. But I would not count out Dance just yet, just because these games have been so even from stock to stock.
Yeah, moment to moment has been extraordinarily close, but what falls by the wayside is, as it seems to be a theme throughout the top 16 thus far, Penguin's ability to play with a lead. Not just gain one and hold it, but to play with the advantages that it provides you, whether it be percentage or, more importantly, stocks.
There's so much to account for there. And with a recovery as woefully linear as ever, even with how creative Dance is with being able to move off stage, you can only weather the storm for so long. And it was just phenomenal for the stock.
When you got to run into a charging tactical nuke, it's a little bit rough.
And as you were bringing up, the fact that Penguin is so confident with the lead that she's built up for herself, you see a lot more active pressure with the clouds, a lot more pressing with the forward tail. Like, she's just looking to make sure that even if the stocks get evened out, the damage is nowhere close to where we can call it a fair game.
Swinging with yet another up strong, but not finding his selection here. Going for the same type of zip mix-up. Love that usage of the down B cancel, looping to the platform instead. A slight mix-up since he's been charging downwards with it instead. Going for the again and finding the edge cancel as well. Dan's pulling out so many tools in order to try and get out of disadvantage, but as soon as he finds himself back at center stage, that's when the Thunderline came down and cements Penguin's lead over him yet again.
But even though it's sitting pretty firmly in the lead of Penguin, just like seeing the bouts in neutral from both of these players is just a marvel.
Oh, yeah.
Like the way that they've approached this matchup, it's very by the book, and the execution flawless.
It just continues to get more and more chaotic, more and more refined, excuse me, from both of these two. Chaos on the brain, but these two have got so many moves planned out, able to detonates it instead of taking the detonation instead of the back air, getting hit on the inside, but the roll is scouted. Just so much to take account for, so much that you have to worry about when you're stuck in ledge like that. Do you play the tech scenario? Do you try and roll in? All these different ways that Dance had found his way back in and onto stage. Getting caught with the simple cover.